Another thing that bikes do from factory is when you let off the throttle, your fuel injectors that are inside your bike, because these are fuel injected bikes, when you let off the throttle, your fuel injectors shut off, which saves fuel. However, it also causes the nose of your bike to dive. And if you get on and off throttle rapidly, what winds up happening is you get this bucking motion, which as a rider sends you front to back on the bike. It can make for a very unpleasant and even unsafe riding condition if you're not expecting the hard buck, because there is no smooth transition to on-off throttle. It's a rapid, it's either off or it's on, and there is no in between. An ECU flash allows those fuel injectors to keep spraying a little bit of fuel so that the transition between off throttle and on throttle is much smoother, and you don't have that bucking nearly as much. Again, increasing rideability, especially on the street. It's fantastic. This is a sports bike. As much as I love it and I love to rip on it, rideability is a very important factor. ECU flashes for me, especially on super sports, increase the street rideability of them and make them even more comfortable. Now, let's talk about some of the extra things an ECU flash can do. They can give you specific tunes for specific exhausts, such as with this M4 full exhaust, I have a pop and bang tune, which means on D-cell, with the combination of my fuel injectors still spraying, because I have them continue to spray, on D-cell, I get extra fuel, extra unburnt fuel inside my exhaust, which, due to the heat of the exhaust, then explodes and shoots flames out of the back. Now, you can get a tune in which it does this the whole way down the rev range. You can get it more like mine does, where once it reaches a certain point, you get one loud bang. You can get all sorts of custom tunes done. And now Chris Moore even offers a two-step, which is a type of launch control. Go check out his channel if you want to see it. I'll link the specific video right there on the screen right above. But you can even get two-step if you own a newer Gixxer 1000. Now, I personally do want to get a newer Gixxer 1000, and if I did, I would definitely get that two-step. It is amazing. It's mighty rowdy, which fantastic for me because I like making a little bit of noise. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff an ECU flash can do positively. Now, let's talk about some of the main negatives of an ECU flash. The main negatives of an ECU flash are the fact that it, most of the time, depending on the company, will void your factory warranty. You will have no more factory warranty on your bike, whether or not you get a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year extended warranty, you know, what have you. You will no longer have that warranty if your bike is ECU flashed. They can see that it's been flashed, and if it's been flashed, you no longer have that warranty. If your ECU is not flashed by a professional or flashed properly, you can brick your bike, meaning you'll have to buy a new stock ECU for the bike to even run. You can kill your bike by getting an ECU flash improperly done, not professionally handled. So, those are some of the main drawbacks of an ECU flash. Now, moving on to the next part. Do I recommend an ECU flash? That is a highly subjective question, and here's why. For a super sport of the 600 caliber and above, R6s, your ZX6Rs, your Gixxer 600, Gixxer 750s, your ZX10Rs, your R1s, your Gixxer 1000s, your CBR 1000 RRs, any of those, your 600 and aboves, I highly recommend them. You will get more performance, you will get more street rideability, and you will have an overall better bike, if you are not afraid to void your warranty, or if your warranty is already out. If you've had your bike for 4 or 5 years and it has no more factory warranty on it, feel free to get an ECU flash. Shouldn't be any drawbacks as long as you get it handled by a professional. I recommend it on any super sport 600 and above. I do not recommend it on any super sport, quote unquote, more sport bike that is below 600cc. With some exceptions. I don't recommend you get an ECU flash on something like an R3. I don't recommend you get an ECU flash on any other lower bike. I don't even recommend an ECU flash on a Ninja 650, for example, which is a more sport touring motorcycle. It's actually the bike I started on. I had I believe a 2020 or a 2021 Ninja 650. I don't recommend it for any bike that isn't a super sport that is above 600, with the exception of the H2 SX or H2 line in general. Now, my 2021 Ninja H2 SX SE Plus that I had, again, that is a supercharged leader bike. From factory, it probably produces somewhere between 180 to 190 horsepower, probably around 80 to 90 foot-pounds of torque. However, after ECU flash, tuning, full exhaust, what have you, mine was probably making somewhere in the window of 220 to 230 rear-wheel horsepower, along with the supercharger being much more aggressive. Now, those do have a centrifugal supercharger, which means the higher your RPM, the more boost that is being produced. However, it is also handled by your ECU, so I would make more boost sooner, and I would be able to stay at full boost longer. ECU flashes for sport bikes, yes, for 600s and above, with some exceptions. For touring bikes, for cruisers, for ADV bikes, a lot of those bikes you can't get them. A lot of them you can. You would have to check specifically with the tuner or professional you're looking at getting to do the ECU flash. They will increase rideability. If you're not really interested in performance, if you're a cruiser rider and you don't care about performance, there's no point in really getting one. You can lower your temperatures and you can do this and that, but the main changes you're going to have are removing the factory restrictions from the bike and gaining more performance. With that being said, let's talk about the cost of an ECU flash. Now, ECU flashes tend to range based on what options you want set. So if I were to get a base level ECU flash for my ZX6R, at least from More Mafia, it probably runs in the $250 to $300 range. And I will pull up Chris Moore's website just to give you guys a reference point here. So boom, on screen you should see his website now. So for a base level ZX6R ECU flash, I don't have the numbers in front of me. Obviously, I'm recording this beforehand. So I will probably let Editing Motor Shorts take over the price talk for the moment, and we will come back here once that's over.
Okay guys, Editing Motor Shorts here. So here we are on Chris Moore's website, more specifically moremafia.com, where I purchased my ECU flashes from. So if we're just doing a base level tune on, let's just say my ZX6R, it's going to be $265. Now that is not doing the factory quick shifter fix. That is not saying the motorcycle is supercharged. That's not getting the pops and bangs. That's not getting the two-step. That's not grabbing a keychain, and that's dealing with standard shipping and handling. So what these options entail are going to be your basic removal of restrictions from the bike, along with things like lowering your fan temperature and selecting if you want your injectors to continue spraying when you let off the throttle. It's known as fuel injector cutoff. So each of these options, obviously, they're selectable. You can change them based on what you would like. There is a pricing breakdown here on the left. So for the quick shifter fix, it's an extra $50. And again, that just optimizes the timings of your quick shifter, makes it not so jerky, feels a lot better, great for riding. If your bike is supercharged, there's obviously the option for that. That's an extra $100 because they have to do a lot more tuning to the supercharger itself. For the ultimate pops and bangs, that's also an additional $100. And you can see here what it does, and you can pause the video if you need to. Also, you can see which bikes are excluded from getting this specific type of tune. For the two-step, this is also an extra $100, and it is only available for Suzukis at the moment. So your Gixxer 1000s and what have you. Again, option for it. Let them know the RPM to set it at. And if you would like your ECU shipped back same day that the tune is done and processed, faster, then you can pay an additional $20 and boom, you can get your shipping and handling done faster. Also, additionally, and I don't deal with these, but you can also get MR12 race gas or E85 tunes if you would like, but you also must have a Power Commander or Bazzaz set up in your bike, and it's only available for these bikes. Again, feel free to pause at any time. So if we add in some of the features just for reference, so if we go with the factory quick shifter, because the ZX6R has one, the bike is still not supercharged. But if I want the pops and bangs, I don't want the two-step because it's not available. I want a keychain, sure, and I want expedited shipping. It goes from $265 to about $440, right? And that's not counting the shipping to get it there via UPS, USPS, FedEx. That's not counting any of that. So again, base level 265. Overall, mine's about 440 plus shipping. So yeah.
All right, so now that Editing Moto Shorts has talked to you guys through the website and through some of the pricings, overall, that is the general gist of what an ECU is, how it functions, some of the things it does, what an ECU flash is, and some of the pros and cons of doing an ECU flash. I know I've probably misexplained a few things. If there's anything you feel that I misexplained, please tell me below. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment them below. I love answering your guys' questions. I've gotten a lot of questions about my H2 flash. I've gotten a lot of questions from the last video on the cost of ownership of a ZX6R. There are a lot of costs associated with motorcycles. So I love answering you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you got any questions. And until next time, I'll see you.